All right, we're just gonna keep working our way through these sample AP questions, doing them in chapter 9, related to inheritance. Some are not all inheritance, some are just more class-based. But anyways, working our way through them. Just a reminder that there's that PDF out on Schoology that you might want to have loaded to reference while we're doing the questions, right? Because even as we look at number 9 here, I can't fit it all on here, so it's going to be helpful for you to reference that document. Okay, so as always, I'll ask you to pause the video and try it. I guess a couple quick hints on this one. You have a class called point. It's like an XY coordinate plane point. So it's got an X and a Y coordinate, and you have two different constructors, a default one and then a one that takes in like the A and B. And then we have a circle class that consists of a point object. So it's one of these points that represents the center. It's got an XY coordinate, and then a private double that represents radius. Okay, so have that open while you reference this. So what will correctly input the constructor? So it looks like we are doing the circle constructor right here, and they're passing in A, B for the center, and then R for the radius. So pause the video and give this one a shot. All right, so new point. So I think this one is wrong because it doesn't set it to be the center to be AB. Okay, so if you look at, I think, how we want this constructor to work, we want the center to be AB, and if we use the default constructor, it just sets the center to be 0, 0. So here, when we do new point, we're using the default constructor, so that's no good. Okay, number 2 I think looks really good. That's how I would do it, is center is a new point with the A and B just passed up to the point constructor, and radius becomes R that came in. All right, this one uses a default constructor, but then sets X and Y to be the A and B coming in, and radius to be R, and I think that'll work as long as X and Y are public. So let's go back and check in the class. Oh, they're actually private, so we can't set them that way. We've got to pass them into the constructor. Okay, so like this one's not going to work because you can't access a private variable that way. If it was public, it'd be okay, but not going to work. So I think letter B is going to be our best answer on 9. Okay, 10, I'm guessing is kind of a similar one. So we've got the point class, very similar to the last one. Slightly different names, but pretty much the same. Okay, and then we have a named point that allows it to like name it whatever you want, like center or first point or second point or whatever. So let's see. Oh, here's the proposed constructors for this named point. Okay, and so which of these would work? So pause the video and give them a shot. All right, so let's see. My name equals blank. All right, and then it doesn't do anything with calling a superclass constructor. I am not sure on that, but I think this is probably not a good thing to do. I think it's kind of like legal code, but we'd want to set these variables up here, and so you'd want to call one of the superclass constructors. So I don't think that's going to work. I will try to look that up here in a second. Pass them in, so we set them and then set name to be name. And again, that would work if the variables are public, but they're not. So we don't have access to my X and my Y, at least in that way. So that one's definitely out. And then 3, we call the superclass constructor. That'll work. And then set my name to be name. I like that one. So I kind of like this as an answer, but maybe we should do a test to make sure. Typed up the code quick. I have point, and then I have name point, which extends point. And it looks like this constructor is passing. What I don't like about this is we need to set these instance variables. So to me, like, you're going to get like null pointer or errors, like these never being initialized unless you set the XY somehow in here. So as far as the answer to this one goes, I am not sure, honestly. I think it's kind of a poor question. You could argue that 1 and 2 will both compile and be okay, but really, to me, 3 is the only one that makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm not really sure what the answer is, but I'm going to put 3 because that would be my best guess. Again, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's not clear enough in the directions to me. Like, does it have to be legal code, like compilable code, or is it like conceptually right? To me, conceptually, the only one that's right is number 3. All right, so looking at 11. So we have a contact info, it's a name and a phone number. And we've got some get methods and got a constructor. And then we've got extended contact info that has a nickname in there. Okay, and so we want to know what the constructor for that would look like. So here are our choices. So again, you might want to have the PDF open to reference this code, but go through and look through them. All right, so A, again, I would have tried this first, but A is out because if you look at this, the superclass, we don't, oops, the superclass only takes in a name and a phone number, so that's not going to take in 3 variables. This one would work if the variables are public again, but I don't think they're private variables, so we can't access name and phone number that way. Nickname would be okay, but not name and phone number. Same kind of problem here. Honestly, I'm not sure what's so different about this one. Just the order. I don't know. That one's not going to work either. Again, this is not going to work because we don't have access to name and phone number. All right, and then this was the way you'd want to do it. You want to call super, pass these two up, and then set the new one, the nickname, right? Because nickname exists in this one, so you'd want to set it right here in the constructor, and then the other two you'd want to set by calling the superclass constructor. Okay, 12. So I would read through these and just see which ones are actually valid. Pause the video. Take them on one at a time. Methods from a superclass can be used in a subclass without rewriting or copying code. Yes, that's true. As long as they're public, I guess. But we'll just assume that they're public. Objects from a superclass can be passed as arguments to a method designed for, or objects from subclass for the superclass. I think, I'm just trying to think about it. I think that would be okay. Yeah, because if it's designed for the superclass, the subclass will have all the methods in the superclass by default, so we'll be okay. We could pass in that object and we know it'll have all the superclass data and methods, so we should be okay there. Objects from subclasses can be stored in the same array. Yep, that's true, right? If you set it up with the array type being the superclass, that's okay. Oh, and so then I guess we get to all of the above. So I think I'm going to go with all of the above being right for this one. All right, I believe that is the end. All right, so that's all I got. Thank you for watching. If you need further explanation on any of these or feel any are wrong, just reach out and let me know. Thanks for participating.